No time to waste. It is the Unidentified Podcast, episode 14. I'm the man chosen to lead this company, the face of the company. Randy Fluharty. With me is the scrappy underdog that everybody loves that will be eliminated in minutes, Adam McDermott.
Yeah! Aren't I?
Yeah.
Everyone loves me, but I'm just not good enough.
Yeah, you're B plus at best.
Something about being 5'8", I don't know.
Yeah. Are you 5'8"?
I am actually.
I see. I'm closer to 6'3" than yeah. So
you got star written all over you.
I got long hair going. I'm basically
Triple H.
So
back
it's
in
gonna
the
be a little
2000s.
shorter. Yeah, it's gonna be a little shorter today. It's gonna be a little shorter well, we'll see. But for at least for the foreseeable future, it's gonna be shorter because of scheduling. Today we're just gonna, since it's only two of us, it won't be too bad. We'll just get going. Adam, what are the odds that we're just going to talk about the Royal Rumble for an hour?
A little bit. Hang on.
There's this.
Someone's shouting. Hang on. What a stunning start. I should really put a big do not disturb sign on my door.
Yeah, we'll start that over.
Oh, forget it. Just cut it
What?
out.
Oh, but that's work. All
You
right,
just
fine. I'll
literally
cut.
cut.
Yeah, I'll just cut.
Okay, continuing on.
What were we talking about? Royal Rumble. Let's do it. An hour Royal Rumble talk now. I've said my piece on the Royal Rumble. So, you want to say your piece on the Royal Rumble?
No, I'm burnt out by it.
Yeah. So
It started off really cool. It's like, hey, he's Bubba Ray Dudley. All right, and then it kind of like once Daniel Bryan got eliminated, and then it was obvious he was going to win.
Well, yeah. Once Daniel Bryan got eliminated, the crowd just died. That was they're like. Yeah. I mean, I died kind of. Yeah. The enthusiasm for me, just like, oh well.
Yeah. The rest.
Now I know what's gonna happen. So
yeah, it was like, oh, why are we even bothering the next 15 entries? We all know what's happening.
But at the same time, I didn't realize how bad it was going to be either. Like most Royal Rumbles would give you some excitement. Like here's Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, and they're fighting, and they're real close, and they're like hanging on. Freaking Kane and Big Show just dropped their limp bodies over the top rope in seconds.
Ziggler spent more time on the apron than actually inside the ring. God bless him for trying.
What a humongous middle finger to everyone. Just here are your favorites. We're just going to drop them over the top rope like they're nothing. And then Kane and Big Show are going to be
They're going to WrestleMania. It's Kane or Big Show. They're going
Kane
to
or
WrestleMania.
Big Show are going to fight Brock Lesnar. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're going to do the Big Show thing where it collapses the ring.
Yeah, we all know that the main event is Brock Lesnar against Curtis Axel.
I mean, Curtis Axel is the official winner for Royal Rumble 2015, and I don't care.
I think he actually sent out a tweet saying that he is...
I hope so, because it really bothered me that they acknowledged it for Rusev, but then, Curtis Axel, yeah, whatever. Oh, Eric Rowan wasn't even apparently in it. He just kind of showed up, and I'm not even sure what that exchange was at all. Like, I was real confused what was going on there with the Wyatt family. I thought they were getting back together and be like, let's do this together. We'll eliminate the pit. And then why did Eric Rowan go out there in the first place? Why did Luke Harper I don't know what happened.
I found there's a tweet by Curtis Axel. Got jumped by Lamb Guy and lose my spot in the Royal Rumble. Never eliminated! ! I'm your winner, damn it. I want Lesnar at WrestleMania.
It's true. As bad as it is, I would take that over what is actually going to happen. I just don't like Roman Reigns. I'm just not. I've never been there. I was like, okay, I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a year. Just let me like him, and then I just can't. I can't like him.
Oh, did you see? You could hear people feeding him lines. During his interview.
No.
Yeah, he did an interview. I didn't actually see it, but someone wrote up on Bleacher Report. It's like, oh, people were feeding him lines. If you watch his video when the Raw was cancelled and they did the sit-down interviews instead live, you can hear, if you turn up the volume, you can hear like chatter. And then Roman Reigns speaks. It's so bad.
That's awful. I bet you they are, while it's horrible, I bet you they are really pleased that Raw was forced to be cancelled because the crowd now gets another week to cool down before jumping straight into the next Raw where he probably would still be booed out of the building. At least now, I don't know, people still seem upset. It doesn't seem to be going away.
No.
The canceled WWE Network thing was trending for seemingly an eternity, which is fun. I canceled mine.
Fair play to you. Renewed for WrestleMania.
I'll renew it.
Renewed for Fastlane.
Yeah, oh my god, I get Fastlane, so like I don't even have to renew it by then.
I thought that was something for Hot Wheels or some promotional
Yeah,
thing.
it is the worst name for a pay-per-view they have ever done.
Fastlane.
That
We're on
is
the
real
Fast
bad.
Lane to WrestleMania.
That is
Brilliant.
so bad.
Put it into effect.
I wonder how they're gonna spin it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they have their promo videos and like, oh, the Unforgiven when he, yeah, like that makes sense. But Fastlane? Are they just gonna play the Fastlane song over the hype? Yeah.
So bad.
Just car wrecks. Oh, that's.
On the plus
that's
side,
awful.
that championship match between Seth Rollins, Cena, and Lesnar
That was great.
possibly the best triple threat I've seen since WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, real long time. It was a very, very good match.
Might even be better because Seth Rollins, I remember multiple times going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
When when he did that move off the top rope, he called it the Phoenix Splash. He did it back in Ring of Honor, but I hadn't seen him do it in years.
Yeah, and he came a little short. We're gonna
Came a little
ignore
short,
that.
but big time match, and then he went for it.
Yeah,
Came
I mean,
up short, but-
he's kind of jacked now too. Like he was not nearly as big as he was.
Oh, was it? My brother and I watched the Rumble, and like every time Seth Rollins takes top off, we just go, "Oh, he's so
Yeah, he is.
shredded."
Yeah, he is freaking ripped. And it when when he wasn't in the Shield anymore, and they finally had him take off his shirt, I'm like, whoa! I was like, oh my! And I started to sweat a little bit, and I turned the fan on.
Meanwhile, Roman Reigns keeps on his big jacket because he doesn't look nearly as impressive without
He
it.
doesn't look nearly that ripped. Remember,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just his body type, but
he's just a thick dude. Yeah. Like, there was a match with him, with the Shield against Evolution where they like took off his vest and
that
started
was
and they showed him and he's just like, he's not nearly as jacked as,
no.
and cause they did the same thing with Ambrose or like Ambrose against Sheamus or something, and Sheamus lifted up his shirt to do the chest pound thing.
Yeah.
And when they did that to Ambrose, I'm like, whoa, he's ripped too. What? Holy crap.
Yeah. Although when Lesnar came out as his entrance, my brother and I both went, "Whoa!" And then I believe the commentators broke kayfabe and went, "Wow!" as well, because Lesnar is so monstrous in size.
He's not like they call him the Beast. Like it's appropriate. He's a weird looking man. Like he's just a weird shape. Like he's an albino gorilla. It's weird.
And you can count his abs. That's the craziest thing. The size of it, you can still count his abs.
You could grab onto them and like hold on for dear life.
He's just so monstrous.
And he just, and the Raw before Royal Rumble where he just tosses Big Show up onto his shoulders like he's freaking nothing. Like he's El Torito, just boom, like nothing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There was a spot in the triple threat match where Rollins jumped off the top rope and Lesnar caught him midair, but then stumbled. The fact that he regained him was even more impressive. He just caught him clean.
Because most people that stumble, they just take it over and do like a cross body and fake it, or they drop him a little bit. Like Cena's done that a few times where he like he gets down on a knee and then regains his balance. Lesnar, like the momentum carries him. He stumbles, just like, screw gravity. I'm just gonna freaking, I'm just gonna keep carrying this guy. And Rollins, he was easily the smallest one in the match, but he's not a small man. He's like 6'1". Like, I don't know.
220, I believe.
Yeah, he's not tiny.
No.
So, yeah. It's a good match.
But
then the Rumble happened.
His flips. Like, he flipped out of Cena's finisher, and he flipped out of a German suplex by Lesnar at the very end.
And he does it at the last second. Like, he flips. I don't know how he does it, because when he's getting the attitude adjustment or whatever it's called these days, and he just flips, because the camera cuts away and he's like, did he hit it? Like, no, wait, he's on his feet. Wait, what happened? He just, at the last possible second.
Yeah, when that guy becomes a face, oh my word.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
He got a standing ovation when he finished the match.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah.
Even though he's like the biggest heel in the company right now.
I know. When he's like, you know what, I'm gonna start beating up bad guys. You go. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So that was the Royal Rumble. We're still a little bit bitter about it. But
I think I just rewatched the Triple Threat match instead, and I was like,
just rewatch that, and I have no doubt that there will be good matches from now until WrestleMania. I have no doubt that there will be some I do have a little bit of doubt that there might be some. The fact that Roman Reigns is going to be the star program, like the headlining event in anything for the next, in everything, I should say, for the next 3 months, kind of worries me.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you say that because you find it hilarious. I did find it hilarious. Now I just cringe. Because it's so embarrassing. Bad. It's embarrassing.
Suffering succotage.
Suffering succotage, son.
Daffy Duck?
Oh man, there are some great videos out there, some compilation videos of his work, and there's one where JR is calling him picking up a microphone. It's like, no, don't do that. He's got a family. It's so good. And yeah, I wasn't thrilled. So if someone was feeding him lines and if that was the interview he got, even while the lines were being fed to him, we're in trouble. Because that wasn't that great either. Apparently
all the stupid stories he's been telling, they're all Vince writing his lines.
But I don't know, part of me feels like I have two thoughts of that. First, Vince leaked that so people would blame him instead of Roman Reigns.
Maybe.
That's my first conspiracy theory. And the second is, if Roman Reigns is dumb enough to go out there and say what Vince is telling him to say, then he doesn't deserve to be in the main event. Do you think Punk would go out there and say that stuff? Do you think Cena would go out there and say that stuff? Well, Cena might. But Cena would make it work better.
Even Ambrose said that they don't give him like lines. They just go like, can you touch on this point?
Yeah,
this point?
Bullet points, which is fine. But someone wrote suffering succotash, son? Are you kidding me? Someone wrote the Jack and the Beanstalk thing that he said to Big Show. Like, it just keeps getting worse. I feel like they're trying. They can't possibly be real.
Just because it's so bad. Treat him like Lesnar. Don't let him speak. Every time Lesnar opens his mouth, you go, your voice is so weird.
It's not even like the traditional... Yeah, his voice is weird. It's not even like the traditional bad promo where it's just kind of boring and droll and you can tell it's scripted. It's actively embarrassing. Like, I feel bad in my soul whenever he talks. He's just so bad. He's not good at what he's given. And what he does, like, even the lines he is given, he screws up a lot. Because when he came back at, what was it, TLC? And he had that backstage interview where he screwed up the line and just stared at the camera for like half an hour. Because
he's a funny man.
Oh, man. And that's what we're going to be. He's going to be the guy carrying 20-minute Raw segments for the next.
I can't wait.
That's so
I'm
bad.
Getting popcorn. I want to see him in there with just, it's so funny.
Oh, I can't.
Poor Heyman. How's he gonna?
He'll find a way.
He'll find a way. He's going to
if he just has to like align himself with both of them and talk for both, or what they could just do is every time Roman Reigns does anything and he gets booed out of the building, just send The Rock out because that's apparently their plan for it. Hey, he's getting booed. Do you want to? You want to go out there and try to? No, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. The Rock's face when he's like holding Roman Reigns' arm up, like, yeah, this is the man. And they're still booing the crap out of him. The Rock's like, oh, you and I can't do this? Oh. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we have to look forward to on the road to WrestleMania. We've got that, and we've got a whole bunch of people going to be pointing at the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's the good
time of the year for wrestling. You know, I've been drifting in and out and barely paying attention for months.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I stopped doing the reviews because I'm like, I can't watch it because it's so awful.
Yeah, and it's like, the Rumble. All right.
Yeah, the Rumble's on, and this is what I'm greeted to. Like, I didn't watch TLC. This is what I'm brought back to. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous.
Oh well.
Ridiculous. It's awful. Now Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are apparently rosebuds.
I don't even know.
So yeah, they're a tag team and they're hanging out with Adam Rose.
Did you hear the report of Adrian Neville getting a gimmick of like a Mighty Mouse?
Oh my god. So that just seems to me that Vince is bitter about NXT's success. And he just wants to have you been paying attention to what they've been doing with the Ascension since they debuted?
What was that about? They were
I hate the Ascension, but at the same time, I don't really like this part where the commentary, all three of them just sit there and insult them and hammer home how much they suck for the entire time they are on screen. That is really weird. And then they face the New Age Outlaws in a match full of just rest holds and clotheslines, and there's nothing special about it at all.
Well, the New Age Outlaws are approaching 50, so...
So what? Like, they're supposed to look freaking good, and they didn't look good. They just looked like they pushed over old men. And I like how they're bringing, the New Age Outlaws haven't lost a step. Like, what are you talking about? All they did was punch.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, cause I don't see why they just don't, like, whatever you are in NXT, just beat that. Cause they've spent years...
Cause it works.
Learning about who they are, and then you bring them up, and even, I don't know, it's just weird.
What they should do, and I feel like this is what they will do eventually, is that they need to compete with each other and put NXT on a different brand altogether. Don't make NXT the one where, like, oh, you're going to get caught up to the main roster. Like, I want wrestlers to be like, I don't want to get called up to the main roster. This is where the real wrestling is. And then start having, like, a competition between the two. Like having invasions and stuff.
That's what SmackDown was.
Except for the part where no one ever crossed over and, like, it wasn't... But also... When that was happening, when the brand split was happening and Paul Heyman was writing SmackDown, guess how good SmackDown was? It's freaking great.
It beat Raw in ratings.
Beat Raw. It beat Raw in ratings. It beat Raw in quality. So why can't we do that again? Give Vince pressure. Because that seems to be the only way he can do anything good. Ugh. Frustrated.
I want to see Adrian Neville against Seth Rollins.
I kind of want to see anyone against Seth Rollins at this point, as well as Adrian Neville.
Did you see Adrian Neville and Tyson Kidd at a match in NXT?
Oh yeah, I didn't see it yet.
I remember watching going, how is this so clean, yet so spectacular?
Yeah, that was a title match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That was a great match.
I was like, how is this so clean? And you're doing all these crazy flips to perfection all the time.
The Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville matches have been darn close to perfect. Yeah. Like from a storytelling perspective, from like a high spot perspective, from like an athleticism, it's just freaking brilliant. I was like so excited. I was legitimately excited. I'm like, oh, come on, Sammy, you can do it. Like I felt like a loser just being like, come on. And the crowd was way into it. And it just felt way better. And all that's going to be lost as soon as they brought up to the main roster. So that's fun. Anyway, should we move on?
Yes, indeed. We can talk. Right. We can have another one of these after WrestleMania. Yeah, so I don't fancy watching Fastlane. What the fuck?
Oh my god. I might watch it, but whatever. So 1/3 of the podcast has been dedicated to wrestling. That's not bad considering the other two aren't here.
Even people don't follow it know how terrible it was.
It's true. Nathan doesn't follow it, and he's like, what? Everyone's freaking out. What's going on? But I heard something about Bubba Ray Dudley. Yeah.
Where was Devon? God damn it, Devon. Get your shit together.
Okay, so one more thing before we move on. The worst thing about it was that just how they can just put any black man in that role. They're just like, oh.
You boy.
Devon's not here, so let's just get R-Truth out there to be the black man.
Yeah.
And do the black man things. Like the wazop and the get the tables and the... Because
also,
we can't have a white guy do that.
Why didn't he get the tables?
That's another question, is why didn't he get the freaking tables?
Instead he drop-kicked Bubba Ray. You should have slid on the bottom rope, brought in 5 tables.
And then just... way better. And then ignore the match. Like,
yeah.
End the show.
Why not just slide on the bottom rope and stay there all thing long?
I've said that so many years in a row at this point.
Sure, about a few years ago when Stone Cold won it, he got beaten up by Triple H before he got to the ring. And then just kind of sat and bled for about half the Rumble. And then got up and walked in when everyone else had come. And then won.
Maybe they should add like a time limit. I'd say. But then again, this is fake wrestling, so who gives a crap?
Yeah.
Anyway, we can't get dragged back into it. Last of Us, I hear something about that you've been playing.
Yes, I wanted to replay The Last of Us, but I didn't want to do it.
Tell us about this hot new release that you've only played, like, never.
Yeah. So this game came out. It was developed by the same people who made Uncharted. You might have heard of it? Yeah. So it's called The Last of Us. It's like The Road, but in game form. And not as depressing.
Sounds great.
Yeah. But anyway, I decided I wanted to replay it. I had this idea for a while. That I wanted to replay it and see if it's possible to go through the entire game while never firing a weapon. So that means no guns, no bow and arrows, no flamethrowers. Molotov cocktails, smoke bombs, sure, and shivs, and whatever you can pick up melee-wise.
But also on Survivor mode or whatever?
Oh, also on Survivor, yeah.
So, this sounds like the worst thing ever.
It is amazing.
I don't know. It is the
coolest thing, because when you're a certain distance away from somebody, and they've got a gun, you realize, oh shit, I have to get close to them so I can punch them. And so you gotta like move around cover, and they're like taking shots at you, or even one of the coolest things with the clickers, because you can't, if you awake them, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I gotta like sneak up behind them and shiv them. So I'm not opening any shiv doors. I'm just holding on to as many shivs as I can. I'm at all times going for the stealth version, and it's working. I've gotten surprisingly far in the game.
How far are you?
Further than I thought. The last thing I did was, do you know where the museum is?
Yeah.
With Tess. I'm just coming up to there.
Okay. Huh.
I did not think I'd get that far.
So looping back around to Tess, like that was interesting. So there's this lady, I've been watching a lot of 24 lately, and there's this lady in season 7. And I'm like, I like her, and I feel like I've seen or heard her before, and I looked it up. That's Tess. Like she's
cool.
in 24. So, yeah. Good acting chops on her.
Yeah. But yes, I'm having a blast. If anyone out there, give it a try.
Nope.
It's really good.
Every encounter is just play good enough for me to do that.
It is when you don't use weapons.
No.
I don't know. I find it fascinating knowing every single enemy's pattern and going, okay, wait, slip around here. Oh shit, he might see me. Careful, run. And it's just, I think it's really good.
I feel like fighting the infected was the least interesting part for me, and that's the part where you don't really use weapons that much. You have to sneak around, and that's not true. I snuck around when I was fighting humans too.
Your first encounter with a bloater, I think I have to shoot him with shotguns or stuff like that. And then there's the encounter where you're in the university and you get the flamethrower for the first time. Right. And there's about 9, and you got a generator, you got to pull one of those, but you're outside that are a load of infected roaming around. And then once you start pulling it, they just tear in on you. See if you can do it without. Maybe you can punch your way through. Probably not, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Give it a shot. And then there's the point where you're hanging upside down, you have to shoot people. But other than that, so other than that, and then the bloater you have to kill or you can't advance. I think you can go through the entire game while not firing a weapon. Even Ellie's sections you can get through without firing a weapon. Yeah. Don't get too specific about that, but yeah. Like Ellie's sections for me were super frustrating. I don't know why, but I was having a real hard time. Maybe you're just bad at the game, Randy. Maybe I could just be bad at that. I don't have the patience for stealth. I really don't. The second I get seen, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like I'm so annoyed at that point. And I don't mind getting seen. That's fine as long as I have the option to dispatch enemies in the other ways. But if you get seen by like a clicker or something, you're kind of done. Like it in certain sections, really. So yeah, I really enjoyed that game though. So despite its flaws, I did really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to the Last of Us movie. Yeah, apparently then their second draft. The least needed movie of all time. Yeah. The Last of Us is if you break it down, take out the gameplay, you're looking at about 6 hours of story. That is like that thing is brilliant. Like the storytelling in that game is, I don't care what anyone says, it is as good, if not better, than any movie you can stack up against it. Well, I haven't read that many It's books, better because you get to inhabit the world. Yeah. You get to walk around, pick up little things. You get to see jukeboxes. That's my argument. Like, I've always been a proponent of video game storytelling being more important because you feel by extension, you are more invested in your characters in that world than any movie that you will ever see because you are a participant. Yeah. And while it leads to some lazy storytelling, when it works, it freaking works. Like, you got examples like Last of Us and BioShock and Walking Dead and stuff like that. And speaking of that, have you been playing that? You started playing that, didn't you? Walking Dead? Yeah. I played episode 1, and then so you still haven't played 2 yet? Nope. Do you have an interest in playing 2? Yes, but it's on the list. It gets so much better. It's on my never-ending list of games to play. Yeah, like when did that game come out? 2012. So yeah, by the end of this year, you have to by your rule of. Oh yeah. I shouldn't have started playing The Last of Us again, should I?
Probably. Well, I mean, if that's the game you want to play, then freaking play it. Like I play. Is that all you've been playing?
I played through Dear Esther again.
I've never played Dear Esther.
It's lovely. I'm doing a video.
Haven't.
The reason was I'm doing a video about narrators in gaming that speak while you're actual over gameplay.
Are you gonna do the Stanley Parable?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Something I've also never played, but I also have.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing. I look back through the history of games that have a narrator present during gameplay, and it's very few. Bastion.
Yeah, and the ones that do it are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
It's like, why
don't more people do
this?
that? Yeah.
Like,
especially when they comment on your gameplay. Like, I remember, and that's all what the Stanley Parable is, but in Bastion, when you, like, fall or something, it's like, and the kid was killed instantly. I'm only fooling, and he falls down.
Yeah, it's really good. Legacy of Kain Blood Omen did it back in 1990 something.
Yeah.
Max Payne did it extensively. Not that often during gameplay. A bit during gameplay, but it was more during cutscenes.
Yeah, I remember.
Like Bastion did it.
The pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Bastion did it like endlessly for 8 straight hours.
That's that game. That's kind of what the game is narration.
And when you look at it, even a game like Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which is a mediocre game, but...
Which I have not played.
Yeah, but its narrator is fantastic. Thomas Was Alone is a game about fucking blocks, but it's got a great narrator.
Yeah, like that's there are a lot of untapped things in game, like that we're starting to see them now with indies experimenting, and then when they work, then I bet more games will start doing it. Like I'd love to see like a well, I lost my example, but like movies with like heavy narrator people narrating the movie. Why can't I think of an example? I just had one. I lost it. Tell me a movie that has a narrator.
The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah. That's not kind of what I was having in mind, though. Oh, well.
Goodfellas.
But yeah. Yeah, sure. Those are... Yes. Yes. More games need to do that. More games need to just try more storytelling things that we don't need. That's the one thing that bums me out about Last of Us, is that most of the storytelling is get to an area, cutscene, get to an area, cutscene. There's stuff interwoven throughout the gameplay, but very little, and it's not really that important.
That's a good point.
But then, on the other hand, BioShock does it in the opposite extreme, where there's plenty of important stuff lost behind gameplay, and you can easily miss it. So, I don't know. Where's the happy medium? Who knows?
Yeah, it's a fine balance.
Yeah, well, maybe one of these days we'll figure it out and we'll be millionaires.
Yeah.
You
just take The Last of Us, you cut the cutscenes in half, and you take BioShock and you...
and put like a third of the audio logs in it and put it on the beaten path.
Yeah.
There you go. Nailed it.
That was quick.
I'm kind of sick of audio logs anyway, because they're kind of silly. The way after South Park, I can never look at audio logs the same way again.
What did South Park do about them?
They were like, despite all this apocalyptic stuff happening around me, I feel the need to open up this recording device and start recording my thoughts.
When was this for?
During the Alien section. You don't remember that?
Oh, in the game, yeah, that was so funny.
It was hilarious, and they're absolutely right. Like, why would you? He's right outside the door, but I'm recording my thoughts. Why would I? Why? Yeah. Why would you do this? In BioShock 1, it was cool because it had never been done before, but for the most part, and then it's just and that's just out of control. Every game does it now.
By the time Infinite comes around with 80 fucking audio logs. What? 80? Are these all necessary?
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that a lot of audio logs are kind of filler and just, they help fill in the world, but I really don't need to know every single little thing about your world. Your world is good and everything, but do I need to know what the cat on 4th Street was doing while the war of 1876 was going, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know every single freaking little thing. Just give me the stuff that is interesting, give me the stuff that's important, and don't make it a collectible, because collectibles are freaking stupid.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
That's another thing we need to get rid of is the Assassin's Creed style. Like, let's just fill this world with stuff that doesn't matter, just so you have something to do.
Flags.
Yeah.
You don't even get to look. You don't even get to look at the flag. It just says, "Oh, 1 of 40."
Yep, you just got one. And then when you finish them, you get an achievement.
Yeah.
You get a trophy.
It's so weird.
I don't know, I never did it. Do you get an in-game item? You probably don't know.
I haven't played any Assassin's Creed since 1.
Yeah, you probably. Maybe 2 in Brotherhood you could probably play, and then you could just stop.
It's just, I don't know, I think they were onto something brilliant, but what's happened is
wasted potential, holy crap.
They've kind of stopped innovating and just started refining, and what they're refining is stuff I don't like.
Yeah, I agree.
Although, no, that's not fair. They've made an entire game about fucking being a pirate.
Which, I was thinking about this the other day, as I am wont to do, is think about Assassin's Creed every once in a while. Why couldn't I get into Assassin's Creed 4? And that's because all it is Assassin's Creed 1 through 3 with a pirate ship. That's all it is. Like, what's even worse is that you have collectibles that run away from you. That you have to chase them. And if you don't catch them, you gotta go back and start it again. What were they thinking? That was horrible. And the controls are never good in Assassin's Creed. They're still awkward to this day. How is that possible? Shadow of Mordor did it better. And then was still not great, but they did it way better. So, like, it is possible to improve them. What happened?
I don't know.
Assassin's Creed Unity comes out. It's kind of a joke.
Is it fixed?
I don't know.
It's fixed.
My friend recently, he's an idiot because he went to his friend's house and started playing it. And he's like, I hate this game. And then immediately went home and bought it.
Yeah, if you don't like your game, don't buy it.
That's a yes.
Especially
when he was able to play it beforehand. There's just something about Assassin's Creed that he loves, and I don't know. Even a mediocre one is enough for him, I guess. But he was saying that it still had plenty of glitches. How long has it been out now? Like, too long. Way too long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Day 1 is too long if we're getting down to it. If you can't play the game after the first day, then yeah. Okay. Anything else, Adam?
No, that's it.
Alright. So I was actually struggling to think of what I've been playing, but I actually did play a couple things. First I played the Evolve beta, because I was randomly in it. Apparently
cool.
Anyone with Left 4 Dead 2 was instantly put into the Evolve beta.
That's nice.
Yeah. That game's fun. You're waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
But there's just not enough stuff. Not even close. That game is one really exciting moment stretched out into a $60 full package.
Yeah, have you seen about their DLC?
Oh my god. Like, even in the freaking beta, it's like pre-order. Like, are you kidding me? And it's not even like little messages, it's pre-order to play this guy. You cannot play this guy unless you pre-order this game. We will not allow you, we are locking away this content, this imperative content, because it's not like there's a lot to this game already. It's not like there's a campaign. It is multiplayer matches, therefore the game lives and dies on characters. So if you were locking characters away, and they locked a decent amount, there's like 4 classes, and then there are the monsters. There's 1 monster locked away, and there are 1 for each class locked away. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have to pre-order to unlock them. Are you kidding me? I'm not pre-ordering your game. It might suck. Already, like, I can tell there's really not a lot going on here because, I mean, they kind of show you what is in it in the beta. They didn't lock that much stuff away. They unlocked 1 mode away, but the mode just kind of seems like several multiplayer matches strung together. So people don't know. I'm sure people know, but if people don't know, it's basically the Left 4 Dead tank fight, only the tank is being controlled by a human player. So it's 4-on-1 multiplayer, and the guy controlling the monster has to run away for a while, eat other smaller monsters that are on the map, evolve, to get stronger, and then if he gets to max level, he can destroy like a power core in the center of the map. But usually it doesn't come down to that, because either the humans have hunted you down by then, or you've become so powerful that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Although that's not true. We've had a couple. See, that's the thing. There are some really, really cool ideas. Like the gameplay is just super, super fun. Like the classes work well together. They each have an important role. When it clicks a lot. But man, when you have the start of the map and all you're doing is running, chasing the monster, there is nothing else to do. You can kill smaller monsters on the map for buffs occasionally, but really it's not really that worth it. And so basically all you're doing is just running around looking for the monster, hoping to find it. The monster's way faster, so if he knows where you are, and he usually does, he's gonna get away unless you're good. So if you suck, you're gonna run around for 10, 15 minutes until the match just decides to end.
Yeah.
It's that game is just so close to being great, man. It's so close, but it's not there. I think this is the Titanfall of Evolve. Like, there's a lot of really good ideas, but we're not there yet. Titanfall at least had, like, more stuff in the virtue of it being a competitive game with unlockables. This game, you pick a class, you master it, you unlock all of its stuff, and you're done. Like, you're kind of screwed. And then, well, out comes the DLC. Oh, we get new monsters for free, right? And then no, you gotta pay for them. It's $15 for $15 per monster. Are you kidding?
Whoa, that much?
Yeah.
Good grief.
At least the one that they announced was $15. At least that's what I saw. My source. I couldn't tell you my source, but it could be lying. If it's $15, you messed up. That is way too much. Oh man,
Right.
Maps don't do anything because there's nothing dynamic about the maps. They're just static maps full of monsters, you know? It's not like there's anything special about them where it's like, oh, I want the one where the snowstorm comes in, or the one with this objective in it. No, it's just it's just geometry with stuff laid in it. So what's the point? And maps are free, so it's not like you have to buy those. But the maps aren't what the content should be, because they don't matter. What matters is the monsters. What matters is the characters, your classes, learning the monster, learning the classes. That's the fun part. Boy, that game bums me out, because I loved playing it a lot of the time, but it's just not there. And I don't like this new trend of having no campaign. I really like campaigns, and I think a 4-player co-op with these classes campaign would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
Maybe it's just
not
they
there.
just spent so much time trying to get the interactions between people and the monster correct.
Right. Great. Make it $20. Or make it $40. $40 is a bit pushing it. I still don't think there's enough for $40. But I would accept DLC if it was $20. You know what I mean? I would accept buy this $20 package and you can add more monsters to it for money for $20. I will allow it. But $60 for very, very, very little content. Without pre-ordering, there are only 3 monsters.
What?
3.
That's absurd.
And there are 3 characters per class. So there are 12 characters. $60. If you don't pre-order. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just not enough. Man, Titanfall, like, bummed me out too, but nowhere near to this extent. I'm really sad. Like, I'm legitimately sad. I having such a good time with my friends, and I can't see myself justifying that cost. It's just too much. Unless all my friends buy it and they're like, hey, Randy. Like, I don't know, I'll think about it. But that's Evolve. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but for now,
definitely passing on that.
yeah. Resident Evil HD Remaster. Maybe you heard of it?
You must have gotten that.
I did. I got it for like $5 off too, so it was only $10. Or no, wait, it was $15 because it's $20. That game doesn't hold up. I'll tell okay, the things it does well, it did well even then. Tension does that better than almost anything. It looks great. Like, it, even back then I thought it looked great. It still looks great. That they did a freaking unbelievable job. Sound, great. The pacing for the most part's really good. Things that don't work. The the item management is no longer acceptable. When I picked Chris Redfield, the first Resident Evil doesn't matter to me because I know that game like the back of my hand. I can go through it probably blindfolded it's a bit pushing it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. Like, I don't have to worry about my inventory slots because I know, like, I don't need to pick up this health because I'm so good at this game, it doesn't matter. In the remake's a lot harder, first of all. Second of all, I don't know it nearly as well, and they changed a lot, so it's not even close to the same game. So I can't just sail through it. I can't just leave health items there. It's like, because these zombies are trickier. Like, when I put them down, they get back up as even stronger zombies. The dogs were super easy in the original game. They're super hard now. And so when I'm Chris and I only have 6 inventory slots, so you got your gun. You need that. You need ammo for that gun. You can find other guns. And those guns need ammo as well. So each one of these things takes up 1 inventory slot. That's 4 right there if you want to carry 2 guns. You have 6 slots. If you want health, that takes at least 1 slot. If you want to be safe, you should take 2 health. That takes 2 slots, and there's all your slots. You can't pick up, puzzles or keys. You can't pick up any of that stuff. You can't pick up ink ribbons, which are required to save the game. If you die, there are no checkpoints. You go back to your last save, so you need those ink ribbons if you don't know what you're doing. They take up an inventory space. So when I have a full inventory space, because it's full of keys and gems and puzzles and stuff, and I find something that I need, I'm like, I have to run back to that freaking box, put stuff away that I don't even know that I'm going to be using or not, come back here, grab that item, run into the next room, realize that thing I put away was the thing that I needed for this next room, run back to that freaking box, put that other thing away, grab the new thing, open this other thing, realize that the thing I had just put away to bring out this other thing is also needed in this room. Like, what? I kept going back to the stupid box. That's not fun. It wasn't fun back then. Well, fun is a bit of a stretch. I know that's not what they're going for. They're going for tension, but it's annoying, I should say. Because I don't want to know the solution and not be able to do it because he can't just set something down for a second. It's like the gem's right there. Let me pick it up. Let me run it over to this tiger head. Let me put it in the eye socket. Let the eye socket spin around. Let me grab the item, and then let me pick up this thing again. Or it's frustrating because I really like that game.
Yeah.
I still like it.
What are the new controls like?
Oh, they're bad.
Ah.
I mean, they had to put it in there because that's like the biggest criticism of Resident Evil of all time is the tank controls, but I don't mind the tank controls. I still don't to this day mind the tank controls.
What are the new controls like? You just push up on the analog stick and they run, is it?
Yeah, except for the part where you move the camera, and when you were running away from the camera before, as soon as the camera changes, you're running toward the camera now. So your thumb is pointing upwards while you're running toward the camera. If you picture this in your mind.
Yeah, I get you. And then you go through and the camera's facing the other way. And then you
move your...
it flips you the other way around.
Yeah, if you move your thumbstick even a little bit, it flips you in the direction relative to the camera.
That's been the case in, I believe it was God of War and Devil May Cry, where you just like,
yeah,
whatever direction you're
going.
No. What they did is they just kept you going that same direction until you made an adjustment.
Yeah, they do that here too, but it doesn't work as in God of War. You can dodge, you're agile, you can, the same with Devil May Cry, and you can attack on a whim.
No, but if you're holding up and then you're running and you go through the camera and the camera changes, where technically up would make you run the opposite direction. You continue whatever trajectory you're on until you make an adjustment on the analog stick.
And it is the same it's the same here.
Well, then that's fine.
It doesn't work as well here as it does in those games. I didn't like in those games either, so I guess I'm a bad example, but in those games, like, you get hit, it's not the end of the world. You take a little bit of damage, you dodge, you fight.
Not on God mode.
Well, okay. But by then you know what you're doing. In this game, if you get hit, you're using limited resources that you will run out of. In God of War, you kill something, health drops. And this something, you kill something, it comes back up, and it wants to kill you again. Only this time it's faster and stronger. So, not being able to orient yourself. Like, let's say you're trying to run in between a zombie and he's like on the camera transition part, and you're running, you move the stick in one direction to run behind him, and the camera shifts, and you realize that you need to adjust a little bit. The second you adjust a little bit, you're going to start running in the other direction, and then you're screwed. It's not as easy as just like, oh, I'll point in this other direction and I'll start working. Like, he stops, like he stutters, like, and that'll get you killed in this game. And getting killed in this game is the worst thing ever because there are no checkpoints, which there are in the later Devil May Cry's. And, no, there are some but there are limited checkpoints in the first one, I think. They're like lives, basically, right?
Yeah, more or less.
They're limited continues. God of War, you can just continue endlessly, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which is the way it should be, because who wants to play the whole game over? But yeah, I don't know. I had a good time with it, though. I still think that it does survival horror. That genre, I should say, needs a kick in the pants. Like, there's a lot of potential there. I still like the idea of limited ammo. I still like the idea of limited health. I like the idea of limited saves in theory.
Well, what came out recently was
Alien.
Yeah, that does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
There you go.
That game has other problems.
Other thing, what? I can't remember anything. Machine for Pigs, wasn't that the other one?
I never played Machine for Pigs. I played the first Amnesia, but we've been over why those games don't work anyway. Like, the thing about Resident Evil, the pacing is way better in Resident Evil because there are safe rooms. There's health. You know what I mean? Like that stuff adds to the tension because it's never just constantly on. Like, remember we talked about this last time. In Alien, it's scary for the first 10, 15 minutes, and then you're just numb to it because it's never safe.
Yeah, I think
Outlast, same thing.
Ebb and flow where you're in a safe zone and you can.
Yeah, it gives you a breather. Around. Like Dead Space does that really well, I think, too. Is that they have.
Yeah, there's like the hub rooms in each level where you go, oh, I can just wander around here and take my time. Yeah,
and they're in Dead Space also doesn't just throw enemies at you left and the first one, I should say, doesn't just throw enemies left and right at you. Like, it builds. It's not just here's a room. There's 16 guys in here, dispatch of them.
I don't think you fight more than, like, for hours, you don't fight more than 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
And then there's a room where you fight, 7. You go, oh my god, I'm going to get killed. But for hours, you fight like 2 or 3 at the absolute most. Yeah,
and then you're out of health and you're out of ammo and it's super tense and super scary all of a sudden, right? Like that's why that stuff works. That's why I don't think horror without some kind of gameplay hook works. It needs to have it. Yeah. And I don't think traveling from A to B with scary stuff in between is enough. Especially when there's no breather. You need a breather. Horror movies do it too. Like, horror movies have slow points because they know that if it's just nonstop scary, you're not going to be scared anymore. Learn from the tried and true. And that's why Evil Within is the biggest bummer in the world. Man, that game sucks.
I just thought it might have been really good.
Yeah. There are people out there that like it. They're freaking nuts.
There's a lot of people out there that like it.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
I want to talk to him. Because I actually talked to my friend about it, and I changed his mind about the game. He liked it until I talked to him about it.
How horrible.
I didn't even mean to. I just I don't like it, and here's why. And by the time I was done, he was like, oh man, you're right. That game sucks. It's got its problems, yeah. So, other than that, what else have I played? Anything else? I jumped back into WoW a little bit, but I already talked about that last time. My friend and I started to play Final Fantasy XIV again, which is weird because we both jumped onto that bandwagon when that first came out. Because I kind of wanted to see it just from a pure curiosity point of view. You know that when Final Fantasy XIV originally came out, it was a freaking disaster, right?
Yes.
And, like, it just was unplayable. And then something unprecedented where they're just like, we're just going to take this down and we're going to redo it. And they redid the entire game from the ground up. Unbelievable. I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. I remember thinking the entire time, like, as long as that game is called Final Fantasy XIV, no one is going to give it a chance. It is the second most successful MMO currently. It is ridiculous. How? How did they do it? Did they make a pact with the devil? Did they say, hey, we need money? It's insane, because I actually played it and I like it. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but where it was, like, I saw where it was. My friend had it. The same friend that is currently playing with me now, and it was just freaking, it was gross. It was bad. Like, actually bad. Like, not even like, I didn't like it sort of thing. It was just a bad game, and no one liked it. He didn't like it. Nobody liked it. He didn't like it and he played it. So that's funny.
So how does it go from that to...
That's a really good question. It's just, apparently, they brought on a new guy. They're just like, just do whatever you need. Well, here's a blank check. We will do whatever you want. Just fix this freaking thing. And he's like, all right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a community forum, and the community is going to tell us what they want to see. We're going to listen to their feedback. And they did that, and they added all that stuff, and they had multiple beta tests with this stuff. And as the beta tests were rolling out, they were getting feedback and adding new features during the beta tests that were also being commented on. By the time it came out, like, the game had been molded to the point where it's just about what everyone asked for. So it's really well done.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I have to say about that. Like, I plan to keep playing it because they're adding the golden saucer, which is exciting to Final Fantasy VII people.
I have no idea what that is. I never
it's
played
the
Final
amusement
Fantasy
park
7.
of Final Fantasy VII.
All right.
And they're adding it.
Tried to play Final Fantasy VII. That game does not age well.
I just played it recently. I think it ages better than most people say.
I prefer to play the old sprite versions. I think they hold up.
Oh, I think the graphics
better.
in Final Fantasy VII are freaking horrendous, but I think the story and the gameplay worked pretty well. Especially, I mean, I talked about this with Nathan, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah.
All right,
I'll play through it when they finally do that remake.
They're not going to.
They're never going to.
They're freaking. The thing that I don't get is that their logic is that it'll be too expensive to make.
Do they have any idea how much money they'd make from it?
That's the thing. Is it going to cost any more than any regular Final Fantasy would cost at this point?
All the story is done. All the combat is done. All it needs is a graphical overhaul. All the design is finished.
But they probably need to add voices as well.
Yeah, but as in terms of coming up with a game from scratch.
And they would need to redo the translation because there's some messed up stuff in there.
Still, it's a lot easier than starting from scratch.
I agree.
Half the work is done.
But the thing about it is that it can't and won't cost more than Final Fantasy 15, for example.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to cost any more than a new game would cost to make. And the return on it, it's almost guaranteed money. Because everyone that played Final Fantasy 7, which is a lot of people, would freaking play it. They would buy that game. They'd freaking line up around the block to pick it up.
And people who haven't played Final Fantasy 7 like myself would also play it.
Yeah.
Just from word of mouth.
People that played Final Fantasy 7 that are no longer into Final Fantasy would go back and be like, I'll see what this I'll go check it out. I haven't played Final Fantasy 7 in a long time. It's a freaking, I just don't get the logic. I just think is that they don't want to do it. If they came out and said like, now we just don't feel like doing it, I'd respect them more than saying like, it'd be too expensive. Every game's expensive to make, including the ones you're currently making.
Yeah.
So don't give me that. You're lying. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's
One day.
just a freaking guaranteed money.
What needs to happen is Square Enix needs to start hemorrhaging money. And then they get desperate and go, okay, we'll do Final Fantasy 7. But they're still rolling in the dough, so they have no need.
Someone needs to buy Square Enix and tell them what to do, because they're idiots.
They're idiots who make a boatload of money. Supposed to be doing something right.
But they haven't in a while. Like, the Final Fantasy games that have been coming out have been below expectations. Buying IDOS has been a huge financial blow for them. They're apparently, when Tomb Raider came out, and it sold like 2 to 3 million copies, it was like, that was below expectations. Like, well, then you screw it up. If that is below your expectations, you need to either start figuring out what your expectations are, or cut costs or something. Because holy crap, 2 to 3 million is quite a bit of copies, and the fact that it wasn't enough for them. Yeah, Square Enix has been a mess for a while. Someone needs to buy them.
They Nintendo. Do all right. They do all right for themselves because they publish so many games as well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that not only do they publish games, but they re-release 1 million games a day.
Yeah, it says here. Why is this? It says here they published Modern fucking Advanced Warfare?
No.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Where did you see that?
Wikipedia, you're lying to me. Even with your little citation.
Is it like the Wii version, or like, I don't know, is it some weird version that we're not thinking of?
Maybe the PC version? No, they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
It says here like Black Ops 2 as well. What's this bullshit?
I don't think
Oh,
that's
in Japan. They did it in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it makes sense.
So that game sold about 3 to 4 copies in Japan.
They do alright. But there seemed to be the Japanese connection for EA and all those other places.
Yeah.
Say Sleeping Dogs, Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Sleeping Dogs didn't take people by storm. I liked it, but it didn't
The
blow
Walking
people
Dead
away.
they published in Japan.
But do those games sell in Japan? Do any games sell in Japan these days?
Other than Pokemon.
Other than Pokemon and like phone games?
I don't know.
Because, man, you never hear about... Japan bums me out. They used to be the top of the top. And now they're just nothing. Like, nothing comes out of them anymore. Nothing worthwhile, anyway. It makes me sad. It makes me about as sad as Evolve. Probably sadder.
Almost.
Yeah.
Here, we start wrapping things up there, because you gotta...
Yep. Indeed. So, is there anything else you want to touch on real quick? Any plugs?
Go check out my channel. New video coming out today.
That's youtube.com/Adam McDermott. Or no, Adam MVP.
Yeah, just type in Adam McDermott. There's about 9 of us, but I'm the guy with the most subscribers.
I also changed my custom URL. You can do that now.
I did it like ages ago to Adam MVP.
Yeah, you can change it to youtube.com/C/Adam McDermott if you want to.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, because I changed mine to youtube.com/C/Randy Fluharty.
I like that.
I got an email saying like, hey, you want to change your name? I'm like, yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
So go do that. So maybe by the time you hear this, it will be youtube.com/C/Adam McDermott.
I gotta do that before someone takes it.
Yeah, you can check out my videos, including the Royal Rumble 2015 review at youtube.com/C/Randy Fluharty. And more videos may or may not be coming. I make no promises because I've been busy.
Yeah, and now you want to be more busy.
That's what I'm saying. This is it. I'm in it. Even more busy than I was before. So the fact that this podcast is going up is somewhat of a miracle. We may start recording earlier because, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We went later and it didn't seem to matter.
Yeah, so we're not going to get into details of that, but hopefully we'll start recording earlier. So it'll be longer next time. But either way, Adam, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Nathan, thank you for letting us know that you weren't going to be here. That was nice of you. He'll probably be here next week. He usually likes coming on, so he always likes coming on. What are we talking about? He enjoys it. I enjoy it too, and I hope you enjoy it. And that's going to do it for episode number 14. Wrap it up. If you wanted to listen to one of these episodes per day, it would take you 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Holy crap.
Do that.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. Question your life decisions on the next episode of the what is this thing called? Unidentified podcast. Goodbye. I love you, Randy, so much.